Welcome to the first tutorial in our series on working with our pixel mapping software. What we're going to cover in this video will be just getting a basic setup going, working with pixel groups, and just going through some rudimentary control. So first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and add in a couple of pixel groups. So let's go ahead and add a grid. And I'm going to go ahead and take this and expand it out a little bit so it's easier to see. And we'll add in a line as well. Okay, so we have two pixel groups. And what we're going to do first here is we're going to assign some pixels to them. So let's go to the grid, and then we'll go to Object Properties. And we're going to say this is 15 pixels wide by 20 pixels tall. All right, we got pixels. Now let's go to the line, and we're going to change something here first. Let's go ahead and say this is 4 segments long. You see we just got a couple of additional segments here. And I'm going to go ahead and just set this up in a rectangular pattern here. Okay, and then let's go ahead and tell this pixel group to have 100 pixels. All right, so now we've got a set of pixel groups with pixels assigned to them. The only thing we have left to do at this point to make it so that we can control these is assign each one of them to a fixture to be controlled by. You'll see we have a fixture already set up right here. So we're just going to change the fixture that this pixel group is associated to be new fixture, and then do the same thing with this one. All right, we have pixel groups associated with fixtures. If I select this fixture and let's go ahead and set some attributes on it. So we're going to turn red, green, blue, and intensity up. And you'll see as I did that, we have some details on this effect that we're working with. So if we look at modifier A and modifier B, we'll see modifier A controls the starting pixel and B controls the ending pixel. So let's go ahead and take modifier B and turn it up. Okay, so you see as we do that, we are advancing through the pixels in this these pixel groups. If I change modifier A, it's going to change the starting pixel instead of the ending pixel. Now, you may look at this and think, well, I don't actually want both of these groups to go at once. I want this group to go through all of its pixels and then this group to go through all of its pixels. So let's change some settings here to make that happen. So I'm going to select this pixel group, and I'm just going to set the draw order on this to be 1. So I just need it to be higher than this. So what was happening before is both of these were set to have a draw order of 0, which means the first pixel on this group and the first pixel on this group were going to go at exactly the same time. Same with the second, third, fourth, because they're basically addressed to be identical within the system. Now that we changed the draw order, it's going to say, all right, we're going to go through all of the pixels in this group, and then we're going to start with the pixels in this. So if I change modifier B now, as I get to the end of this group, it is going to go ahead and start working on the next one. So that's all cool. But there is kind of a flaw in this, in that both of these are being controlled by the same set of channels here. I can't really control this group separately from this group. But what I can do, if I want to do that, is let's just go ahead and add another fixture. And let's name these fixtures so we don't get confused. Let's say this is grid, and this is line. Okay, so we'll see that both of these pixel groups are currently assigned to grid. Let's take this pixel group and assign it to be line. Okay, so now if we go back to grid and adjust modifier B on it, modifier B is no longer controlling the line. if we go to the line, and let's turn red, green, blue intensity up, and now adjust modifier B, now we're controlling that separately, and we can do separate effects on these two groups. The last thing that we'll cover in this video will be adjusting the pixel layouts. So if I laid out this line in this orientation, and I decided, oh wait, I actually wanted it to start at this side and go around, we can just come over here and hit reverse layout, and now it's going to start from the opposite side. Likewise, on the pixel grid, if I wanted this to start laying out pixels from the bottom right corner, I can come in here and say the origin point on this is the bottom right, and now it's going to start laying out pixels from the bottom right. But what if my pixels, instead of going in a line across here and then starting on the next line and going over, like what I've got happening here, what if they zigzag up here? Well, I can change that by coming to mode and hit alternating. And now, as I go up this, it's going to go alternating left-right through that. The other option that you might run into is, instead of laying your pixels out horizontally, you laid them out vertically in either a linear or alternating pattern. We can deal with that by switching this to vertical, and now we have that layout there. And that basically covers all of the major ways that you could go about laying out a grid of pixels. So between those options, you should be able to get things to be set the way you want them to be set.